All right. Thank you. I'm going to recognize myself. I want to begin with the Office of Inspector General and the report, the review of alleged human resources delays in the Atlanta Medical Center. I would ask unanimous consent for it to be added to the record. Without objection, so ordered. I have a great deal of issues specifically with this report that has come out, and I want to thank you for being here. But it outlines some serious failures in the Atlanta VA, and in particular, some things that came out of great concern personally was the failure to conduct drug tests on employees, and they also allowed over 200 employees who had not completed background checks to work directly with some of our veterans for several months, and in some cases even years. This is a huge VA medical center in Atlanta, servicing some well in excess of 100,000 veterans a year. And I'm just curious how many of these people who had no drug tests or background checks, how many veterans potentially, if you can use the word, were exposed to these type of individuals, and why were they not adequately checked?
Congressman, there was just a lack of appropriate oversight at the facility to ensure that the drug test program was being administered. The person that was responsible for the program left. The backup person did not take on the responsibilities as they should have, and this happened for a 6-month period. I can't tell you how many people should have been subjected to the drug testing during this 6-month period, but they certainly were coming into contact with the patients and other employees at the medical center.
And how long did that take? Did that last?
Well, there was a 6-month period where there was no drug testing.
No drug tests at all?
Right.
Is that normal?
No, sir.
How long typically?
Well, we'd like to think that every facility would be conducting whatever drug testing they should be. But we have known from other work that there are facilities that don't conduct the tests or conduct a low percentage of the tests that they should.
Ms. Mitchell, have measures been taken to ensure that this won't happen again?
Yes, sir, they have. So beginning in October of 2015, our local drug program coordinators began certifying monthly that employees selected for random drug testing were in fact tested. And in November of that year, our own office began reviewing that data for compliance, and we have continued to do that. Subsequently, we are also working with our IT side of the house, not the Office of Information Technology, but with our partner to ensure that we have an automated way of making sure that everyone who should be considered for random drug testing is in fact considered.
So are you saying that specific to the Atlanta VA or across the board?
Across.
So are there any other medical centers where this type of thing can be happening?
I don't have any personal knowledge of that.
Shouldn't you?
Well, if I were to say to you, could it be happening? I think it would be.
And my question is, are there measures to ensure that it is not and that it will not happen?
Those are the measures, sir, that I was just talking about.
And those are for all our VA medical centers?
Yes, they are.
So you can ensure that that is not going to happen again?
Exactly. That's why those measures were put into place.
And the same would apply to the drug testing?
That's correct.
All right. And the background checks?
Sir, I'm not personally involved in the background checks.
Who is?
It is another office within the VA, but I'd be happy to take that for the record.
I would like that. Have there been any VA employees who have been fired for this? Or any management level who let this slip through?
Sir, I'm not aware of that, but I'd be happy to take that for the record.
I would like that for the record. It seems to me, would all of you not agree that this is inexcusable?
Sir?
All right, then why is there no consequences?
Sir, I don't have enough personal knowledge to comment on whether or not there have been consequences as I sit here today. But again, I'd be happy to take that for the record.
Okay. All right. Dr. Barnett, is there any other recommendations that are coming down the pipe that time frame wise for corrections of these type of things that you're aware of? Just want to give you an opportunity to weigh in.
So, Mr. Rice, we have one outstanding recommendation that still exists from a national drug-free workplace audit that we conducted that was issued, I want to say, about a year and a half ago, closer to 2 years ago, where we did a random sample of facilities and then checked to see to what extent random drug testing was going on at that time. And there is one outstanding recommendation that still exists with that report, and that is specifically related to ensuring that folks in the occupations that are considered high risk or drug testing designated positions are in fact coded as such in VA's personnel system, which is the new HR Smart system, so that those folks are actually eligible to be selected for random drug testing. Because once you are an employee at VA and you are in a drug testing designated occupation, physicians, police officers, those sort of folks, you are eligible to be selected on a monthly basis for random drug testing. So random drug testing at the facilities should be occurring once a month. The folks at HRNA randomly select employees. They then communicate those names down to the facility level, and then in the HR department at a facility level, there's a drug testing coordinator, and it's that person's responsibility then to inform those employees and have them go to the lab to submit a urine sample.
Okay. All right, I thank you. My time has expired. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Sarbanes.